A lot of good things have happened this week. It's been thrilling. Brittany Griner was released. Yeah, you can applaud. And not only was she released, but her wife stood with our President of the United States and the Vice President of the United States and advocated for a Black woman and a Black lesbian to be released from captivity. And they brought her home. In my lifetime, we have gone from running from the police, though that may not be over, having the president bring us home again. And also, the Congress has passed the Respect for Marriage law, which impacts so many of our families here, folks in mixed race marriages and folks who have married queerly, bringing once again to us possibility that we can be free and unharassed by the law. It may not stick because we do remember the DOMA law. And we do remember that the Supreme Court ruled that equal protection does not protect all of us. But Joe Biden is going to sign a law that will protect so many relationships in our congregation. And also this week, millions of people in Georgia voted for Black men. Astonishing. From Georgia, I never thought such a thing could happen. But in the end, Senator Raphael, the Reverend Raphael Warnock, was elected to Congress. And yet, white folks used Herschel Walker, a hero from my life, my classmate at the University of Georgia, used him for white folks' purpose, buffoonery. I have traveled this week between elation and desolation, and I wonder if it's because I'm white. For I think that I learned at the hands of white culture that everything is going to be okay if only I will do the right thing, marry the right person, get the right degree, live at the right address, associate with the right people. And I have been passing as a person who is right, trying to make myself right by associating with right kinds of people and proximity to the right kinds of people who might guarantee either my safety or my freedom. Black folks know what I'm talking about. Herschel Walker grew up in a place where if he was not proximate to white people, there would be no food and no employment for his mama who worked in white households. We've been passing, all of us, my friends, trying to understand how it is that we will get our part of the dream. And I have been asking myself, what is the gift to white people in our congregation from Black people in our congregation? And I think one of the answers, though there are many gifts offered and passed between us all, one of the gifts is to understand that it hasn't been all right for a long time, and it's not going to be all right for a long time. Voting Rights Act was passed and then has been gutted, and so have we. Voter suppression has surged, and our depression has too. But I want to tell you today, on the third Sunday of Advent, that we are waking up. In our congregation, we are trying to clear out what has been in our way so that we can see what is true and it will set us free. Don't you know the feeling of going into your house and throwing out all the junk, and then you sit down and you think, why didn't I do this sooner? Or maybe coming to Kelty Chapel yesterday and throwing away, I don't know, 20 years of junk in the corners. And then we looked and sat down on those new to us leather couches with great satisfaction because we can see that we can do a new thing in that room. We can finally see when we wake up that the empire is not going to save us. And so, with the help of God, the guiding of the Holy Spirit, and the long testimony of the people who came before us, that we belong to one another, we belong to God, and in that belonging, glory will come. I want to be ready for it when it comes. And it's not going to come when everything is all right, but rather it's going to come day by day and little bit by little bit. I haven't had a Christmas tree in my house for 15 years. And somebody brought me a Christmas tree this year, and somebody else brought me a string of lights this year. And only because of those gifts, I'm getting ready for Christmas in a new way. I want to be ready. We are getting sober so that we can be ready. We are letting the scales fall from our eyes so that we can be ready. We are excavating the mess inside of us, the fear, the hate, the resentment. Not because it will be gone forever, but because day by day we are getting ready. Because of Cheryl Rache, I listened to the whole speech of the Senator, Reverend Raphael Warnock. And he said that we have come from much, but we're getting ready for this new day. There is a hill that we are going to climb, says Amanda Gorman, so that we don't leave behind disconsolation for our children or a ruined world for our children, but rather we are bringing connection into the world for ourselves and our children, and we want to be ready for it. We have people who told us we should be things, this or that. And we may become those things, senators, Supreme Court justices, the best educator ever. But we're not that yet. But we want to be ready. It may be that our loved ones are sick and need to be taken care of. And no matter how much care we give them, they will not live through it. But we want to be ready with love because we are practicing that care for our loved ones. Our children stay out all night and they want to harm themselves. And they are growing up in a terrible time, but we can't wait until they are perfect children, until we can get ready to receive what is coming. Raphael Warnock said in his speech, he said, today we will dance. Today we're on the mountaintop and we will dance there. But tomorrow again, we go into the valley again. And as my dad said, put on your shoes and let's go. We're going to get ready for every moment that God will come to us in glory. Mary is pregnant, and she's giving birth again this year in 14 days. We want to be ready for it. We've investigated all the meanings and all the bad theologies that we can get a hold of this week, last week, week before that. But y'all, there's going to be a celebration coming. We're going home to families that may or may not love our bodies, may or may not love our partners. But it doesn't matter, because we want to be ready when the glory of God makes herself available and ready for us. We want to be ready. We're going to climb the hill together so that we can get on the mountaintop, so that when we get up there and see the glory of God, we will be ready to receive it and then be ready to walk down the side of the hill to the valley to get on tomorrow. The great gift for the people of God from 2,600 years ago, from the prophet Isaiah, is sometime this is going to happen. And then Mary said, it has happened. God has favored me, and I will bring forth something. I want to be ready when God comes to me and says, there's a job to do. There's some relief to make. There are reparations to do. There are children to care for, bridges to make. Let's be ready. Let's be ready. So, beloved ones, we've done this work in our congregation. We've named and investigated and parsed, made new theologies, and tried to understand how someone such as us could be a part of the Christian heritage. And we have rejected it and taken it in, and we have said we'll do this but not that, and we've made decisions, right? But this year, we can hold on just a minute, so that when Jesus comes, we'll celebrate, because we will have made ourselves ready for the time when Jesus comes. Amen.